and welcome back to another podcast with Mr. Hagan. And on this podcast, we are going to do another shift of the demand curve, another one of the determinants. And this determinant actually is going to require two videos. So this determinant is a change in the price of related goods. And here's where things get confusing. Related goods can either be substitute goods or complementary goods. So let me just write those words. Goods can be substitute goods. They can be substitute goods, or they can be complementary goods, complements. Okay, and here's the difference between these two. Substitute goods are goods that get consumed in place of each other. Okay, they get consumed in place of each other. So this might be something like the example we're going to do would be orange juice and apple juice. They tend to be substitute goods. I have either orange juice or apple juice for breakfast. So they are substitute goods. Complementary goods, on the other hand, goods that are complements, are goods that tend to get consumed together. They are goods that tend to get consumed together. So maybe a tie and a shirt get consumed together, or socks and sneakers get consumed together. Those are complementary goods. So in this video, we are going to just look at substitutes. So we are going to look at the example of price of related goods, substitutes. So the first thing I got to do is I got to define my good. So my good is going to be apple juice. My good's going to be apple juice. So I record that here. And then I'm going to record it down here. I'm going to say this is the quantity of apple juice. This is the price of apple juice, same thing that we've been doing before. And there's a supply curve for apple juice, a demand curve. And here we are at equilibrium at P1, Q1. And then my real world event is going to be an increase in the price, of orange juice, of OJ. Increase in the price of orange juice. So before we start to talk about this apple juice market right here, let's first talk about the orange juice market. So I just kind of snuck it in here real small. This is going to be the quantity of orange juice, and this is going to be the price of orange juice, and this is going to be the demand curve for orange juice. And currently in the orange juice market, there's a price and there's a quantity. Okay, and I'm ignoring, there is a supply curve right here, but I'm ignoring it right now. Because I don't want to make a big deal out of this. We're focusing on the apple juice market, but I just want you to see what's happening over here in the orange juice market real fast. So what's happening over here is the price of orange juice went up. Now this is the orange juice market. So if the price of orange juice goes up, that's going to be a move along the demand curve. You remember from a lot of videos ago, that we would call that a change in the quantity demanded as we move along the demand curve for orange juice. That is a change in the quantity demanded for the orange juice market. Okay, now we're not doing the orange juice market, we're focusing on the apple juice market, but I just want you to see that, because as the price of orange juice goes up, people are going to buy less orange juice than they did before. Okay, that's just normal quantity demanded stuff. But if the price of orange juice goes up and people buy less orange juice, what are they going to do instead? Well, they might start buying apple juice. They'll look at that orange juice and say, I was going to have some orange juice this week, but it's way too expensive, so I guess we'll buy some apple juice instead. And that buying something instead, that's what makes it a substitute good. So price of orange juice goes up, people are going to buy less orange juice, and as a result, they're going to go buy apple juice instead. And that's the market that we are focusing on. Okay? So this, you don't really have to write this down as part of an answer, like on a test or something like that. You don't have to write this down as part of the answer, but I just want you to see the reasoning behind what's going to happen over here. Okay? So increase in the price of orange juice means people are going to buy less orange juice. What does that mean for the apple juice market? Well, my determinant in the apple juice market would be this is my shorthand, a change in the price of related goods And how are the goods related? They are substitute goods. They are substitute goods. Okay? So change in the price of related goods substitutes. When the price of orange juice goes up, people will buy less orange juice and they will go buy apple juice instead, shifting the demand curve for apple juice to the right. So the demand curve for apple juice will now shift to the right. Here's going to be my new demand curve in the apple juice market. And you might want to say, well, Hagen, wait, didn't we get a change in the price? And now you're shifting a curve. You can't do that. Well, it was the change in the price of a different good. It was a change in the price of orange juice. And in the orange juice market, you did move along the curve. But in the apple juice market, the price of apple juice didn't change, at least not yet. The price of apple juice didn't change. Something else changed. The price of a different good other than apple juice changed. An increase in the price of orange juice caused people to want to buy more apple juice. Demand curve for apple juice shifts to the right. When it does, okay, now let's finish this up. Everything should fall into place now. When the demand for apple juice shifts to the right, find the new equilibrium point. The price of apple juice will rise as people buy more of it. The quantity of apple juice bought and sold in the market will rise. So we get an increase in the price, an increase in the quantity. On the demand side, in the apple juice market, that would be an increase in demand. The demand curve shifted to the right. And it would be an increase in quantity supplied because we moved along the supply curve. We moved along the supply curve. So that was an increase in quantity supplied. Okay? So this is change in the price of related goods substitute. Let's look what our rule is. So our rule looks like this. Whenever you get an increase in the price of the substitute, an increase in the price of substitute, then the demand for the good that we are studying goes to the right. And that's what happened here when the apple juice demand for apple juice shifted to the right. Okay? And then if you get a decrease in the price of a substitute, that would be the opposite. If our price of orange juice went down, then the demand for our good that we are studying, apple juice, is going to go to the left. So what's happening there is if you get a decrease in the price of a substitute, this would be like if the price of orange juice went down and people were at the grocery store and they, well, I was going to get some apple juice, but look how cheap that orange juice is. I'll go buy that instead. And as a result of that, the demand for apple juice would shift into the left. That's a change in the price of related goods substitute. And on the next video, we will look at what happens when we get a change in the price of a related good complements. We'll do that on the next video. Thanks for joining me. This has been Mr. Hagen. See you on our next podcast.